Talk about a tough binge. Hey everyone, it's Sharonda from Pay or Wait, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Netflix series Messiah, which is now streaming on the Netflix platform. For those of you who are new to my channel, I basically go into what I loved about the series and what I didn't love about the series, and is it worth the binge or not? But before I get into this review, Happy New Year's, you guys. This is the first review of 2020. I hope that everyone had a great start to the new year, and I hope that you conquer all of your goals and stay consistent. Yes! So, going into Messiah, which is directed by James Mategi and Kate Woods. James Mategi, you know, from directing V for Vendetta, also 2 episodes of Sense8, and Kate Woods has directed, geez Louise, directed episodes of Underground, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Blind Spot, and so this series really centers around this polarizing figure, this CIA agent who's played by Michelle Monaghan. She's basically uncovers this figure who is becoming a global phenomenon through his acts of public disruption. And essentially the show really centers around, is he a divine entity, or is he basically a con artist? And so throughout the course of the series, we kind of get to learn more about Al-Masih, which is what everyone calls him throughout the course of the series, through this investigation by the CIA, and also other people become involved. And then it really just keeps you guessing, like, is he a divine entity? Is he not? I need answers. I need to know. So I actually watched all 10 episodes of the series, and so going into what I enjoyed about Messiah, I really have to say that Messiah has a very interesting concept. I think that it really kept you guessing from the first episode even all the way to the last episode of the series, and I think that's mainly due to the performance of Mehdi Dabi, who plays Al-Masih. I thought that he did a very great job he almost seems like a very quiet character, but calming and confident in what he believes. And I think that it really keeps you intrigued into his character, and it wants you to find out more and more. And even as kind of more of these clues kind of get into his origins of where he came from, I think that he does such a great job of giving you a lot with so little words. He's a man of very few words throughout the course of the season, but he's so interesting and mesmerizing to watch on screen that really his performance is what really kept me invested in watching each episode after it ended. Now also too, there's another character, Avram, who's played by Tomer Sisley. He's one of the Israeli agents who's basically kind of working on this case. One of the things I enjoyed about his character is there's a lot of character development, and you really get to understand why he behaves the way that he does, why does he make the decisions that he does. And I think because I got to learn more kind of about the background, his family life, and also too kind of why his life is the way that it is at this point in time, I was more invested in his character throughout the course of the series, and I was more invested to see what happens to his character, kind of the connection between him and Al-Masih. And I think that his character is really one of the only ones that truly had a good payoff for me by the end of the entire series. Now also too, the exploration of faith, especially in the social media age, was another very engaging topic of the series. There's kind of one of these acts that Al-Masih performs. I'm not going to give anything away. There's not going to be any spoilers, but what I found the most interesting about how this scene is shot is not actually watching the miracle itself, but more so watching how the crowd, the audience, how the use of technology was shown throughout that scene. And I think it's very interesting to see what a character like Al-Masih, who is supposed to be this divine entity, this prophet, what these acts, what miracles, these miraculous acts, what they would look like in our age in 2020, what that looks like with the use of technology today. And I kind of love this exploration of also too faith and politics, and more so how sometimes faith is used to push agendas in politics instead of necessarily focusing on practicing your faith and just living through the principles of your faith. And so I love how they kind of explore how faith could be used through politics, whether for good, for bad, through acts of terrorism, or to actually bring social change to try to help the world. I really love how we also focus on the global aspects of religion. We get to see religious beliefs, or how the different characters kind of deal with knowing who Al-Masih is, because he becomes this global phenomenon. And so throughout the course of the series, we kind of see in different parts of the world how what he is doing, how this is affecting different regions. And so that is also very interesting, and and one of the things that I enjoyed about Messiah. Now, that's pretty much all that I enjoyed about Messiah. I do have a lot of issues. First and foremost, as I said with Avram, I loved his character development, but I felt like a lot of the other characters were very one-dimensional. Michelle Monaghan's character, she's a CIA agent who actually has a lot of personal things that she's been dealing with as well. But I don't think we really get to see, we don't get to learn any more than what's kind of first introduced to us. And I really wanted to understand more of the connection between her and Al-Masih as she's investigating him. There's kind of this conversation that they have, and there's something that he says to her, and it kind of shakes her, because to her, it kind of hits her in her core. But I feel as though we don't really get to learn more about her character, or really about the circumstances that she's in. And I don't think that there's any payoff. I don't feel like they kind of reveal like why those words that were spoken to her, why it kind of hit her the way that it did. And I wanted to see them do more with her character. Michelle Monaghan, she did fine with what she was given. I think that the show as a whole, I think all of the actors involved, they did a great job acting. I just don't think that their characters were given enough to make them interesting. And that's why for some of the episodes, because it kind of does kind of focus on different regions and different characters that have different subplots, I wasn't that invested in it. And that's why some of the episodes, they were very slow. It took a lot for me to kind of get through the episode. And that's why some of these episodes throughout season 1 of Messiah was kind of boring to me. Now also too, the payoff at the end, while I kind of like what they did when they kind of try to answer some questions for you surrounding this character, I still felt like it wasn't enough. At the end, I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. But then I was like, I still wanted a little bit more. It kind of left me, I didn't feel completely satisfied. And maybe that was an intention to still continue this process of thought, to really keep its audience guessing and thinking after the season is over. But for me, it wasn't enough for me to warrant to like, I can't wait for season 2. I didn't have that feeling. I was just like, I'm so happy that I'm done with this. I'm over it. Let me go watch something else more entertaining. But also too, I would say, because the show definitely deals with different types of religions, it doesn't delve deep into those religions. I think that it assumes that its audience knows of different religions throughout the course of the world. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. And I wish that even with the portrayal of some of the Muslim characters, I just felt like it was a little one note, and it kind of delves into the stereotypes of what we see in all other movies or TV shows. And I wish they would have went a little bit deeper. And I think that really the content and the message of Messiah, I think it would have hit a little bit better if we actually did try to include some of the different religious doctrine throughout the course of the series. I don't know if that's done to kind of, because it's already a controversial topic and the show is already causing controversy from the trailers and everything, but I feel like that also was a missing link to what could have made Messiah even more entertaining. But for me, what I would tell you guys to do with you or your time, I would probably tell you to wait or skip Messiah. Now, what I always say is, even if I don't like something, look, you might like something that I don't like. I might like something you don't like. You can always give it a try on your own. But for me, what I would tell you to do, I'll tell you to wait for something better. Another series that came out on Netflix today was Spinning Out, a series that I actually really enjoyed. I'm going to review it after Messiah. But yeah, those are pretty much my thoughts on the Netflix series Messiah. As always, my name is Sharana from Pay Or Waits. And if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys soon.